A Callaway Apex Ti-Fusion iron costs around $358. A Sub 70 699 iron costs $80. Both are designed for the same mid-handicap golfer looking for forgiveness and distance. Both are modern cavity back irons with up-to-date materials. The difference is not the technology. The difference is everything around the technology. 5 golf club brands are quietly charging you hundreds, sometimes thousands, more than their clubs are worth to the average player. And 5 brands are delivering the same real-world performance at a fraction of the cost. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which ones fall into each category and why. Let's start with the brands that are costing you the most relative to what they actually deliver on the course. Brand number 1, Honma. Honma is a Japanese manufacturer that has been building golf clubs since the 1950s. The craftsmanship is real. The materials are exotic. The finishing is done by hand. And none of that changes the fact that their top-tier Barris line has crossed the line from golf equipment into luxury goods. The Honma Barris 09 5S driver, the highest star grade they offer, is listed at $6,600. Discounted, it goes for $5,940 for a single driver. The Barris 10 4-star driver, one tier below, is priced at around $2,800 in Canadian retail listings. These clubs use gold accents, platinum finishes, and high-grade carbon composite shafts. The star grading system is essentially a luxury tier, similar to how a watch brand separates its entry line from its haute horlogerie collection. The 5-star grade is not 5 times better at hitting a golf ball than the 1-star grade. It is 5 times more expensive because the materials, the finish, and the exclusivity are being priced like jewelry. For a golfer shooting 95, a $6,000 driver will not shave 10 strokes off a round. It will not even shave one. The physics of a driver head are constrained by USGA rules. The trampoline effect of the face, the size of the head, the moment of inertia, all of these operate within a regulated ceiling. Once you reach that ceiling, which most modern drivers from any reputable manufacturer reach, the returns on spending more money shrink to nearly nothing. A $6,000 Honma driver and a $300 driver from a mainstream brand both operate under the same physical limits. The difference is the gold trim and the presentation box. Brand number 2, PXG. Parsons Extreme Golf was founded by Bob Parsons, the billionaire behind GoDaddy. The brand entered the market in the late 2010s with a no-compromise engineering philosophy and prices that matched. PXG hired top club designers, used proprietary weight systems and multi-material constructions, and positioned itself as the performance brand that would spare no expense. The performance part has some truth to it. PXG clubs are well engineered, but the pricing tells a different story about who is actually paying for that engineering. A 7-club set of PXG Gen 7P irons runs around $1,260. Upgrade to the Extreme Dark Finish and the same set jumps to about $1,330. $70 more for a cosmetic finish. Individual PXG irons range from around $150 per club on their entry models, up to $650 per club on the high end. PXG does offer a full 10-piece set, the EO211Z, that includes driver, irons, woods, and putter for around $1,695. That is actually a reasonable price for a complete set. But the flagship models, the ones they market the hardest, carry per club prices that put them right alongside or above TaylorMade and Titleist. For the average golfer, PXG's premium pricing is paying for a brand story built on the idea that more expensive must mean more performance. For a scratch golfer or a tour professional who can feel the difference between 2 grams of tungsten placement, maybe. For a 16 handicap, the difference between a PXG iron and a well-fitted iron from a mid-price brand is going to be invisible on the scorecard. Brand number 3, Titleist at full retail through Pro Shop Fitting. Titleist makes excellent golf clubs. That is not the argument here. The argument is about what happens when you walk into a fitting center and get quoted a price that does not match reality. Titleist's MB and CB irons have been climbing in price. Some models now cost around $315 per club in certain markets, up from the $235 to $285 range in recent seasons. A full set of fitted Titleist irons is regularly a $2,000 plus commitment. But here is where it gets interesting. Players have reported pro shop fitters quoting significantly more than the manufacturer's suggested retail price for the exact same club in the exact same specs. One documented example from mid-2025 showed a Titleist fitter quoting $3,446 for a set that carried an MSRP and online price of $3,047. That is a $400 gap for the same clubs. Not upgraded shafts, not premium grips, the same specs. That gap is not technology. It is not performance. It is the fitting bay markup that many golfers do not think to question because they assume the fitter is quoting MSRP. Always check the manufacturer's website before accepting a fitting quote. The number on the screen in front of you and the number on Titleist's own site should match. If they do not, you are subsidizing someone else's overhead. Brand number 4, Miura. Miura is the most respected name in forged irons among club enthusiasts. The company uses traditional Japanese forging methods with very low production volume. Each iron is hand-inspected and finished. The steel quality is exceptional. The feel at impact, according to nearly every reviewer who has ever hit one, is unlike anything else in golf. And for a single-digit handicap player who values that feel above all else, Miura may be worth the price. For everyone else, and that is the vast majority of golfers, Miura's premium sits in a category similar to Hanma. You are paying for artisan craftsmanship, limited availability, and a name that carries weight in very specific circles. The performance gain over a well-fitted set of mainstream forged irons is not going to show up in your score. It is going to show up in how the club feels in your hands. That feel is real, but it is also the most expensive sensation in golf. Brand number 5, XTEO. This one surprises some people. XTEO is made by the same parent company as Dunlop in Japan and is specifically designed for players with slower swing speeds. The clubs use ultra-lightweight components, including shafts and grips that weigh less than standard options. For the specific player XTEO targets, typically older golfers or those with physical limitations that reduce swing speed, the engineering makes sense, but the pricing does not match the audience. XTEO clubs carry premium price tags that rival or exceed TaylorMade and Callaway, aimed at a demographic that is often on a fixed income and playing recreational golf. The same lightweight shaft technology is available from other manufacturers at lower prices. Cobra, for example, offers lightweight builds in its senior-oriented lines without the XTEO markup. The target audience for XTEO would benefit more from a proper fitting with a mid-price brand than from paying XTEO's premium for off-the-rack lightweight construction. Now here's the part most golfers skip past. Before spending any money on a brand, there is one thing that delivers more measurable improvement than any club purchase at any price point: fitting. Research from Golf Lens published in early 2026 found that custom fitting delivers an average gain of 16 to 21 yards off the tee and roughly 30% tighter dispersion. That is not a marketing number from a club company. That is an independent measurement of what happens when shaft length, lie angle, loft, and flex are dialed in for your actual swing. The same research estimated that around 90% of golfers use improperly fitted clubs. 90%. That means the overwhelming majority of golfers who just spent $1,500 on a new set of irons are hitting clubs that do not match their swing. A $500 set that fits your swing will outperform a $2,000 set that does not. This is the single most overlooked fact in equipment buying. Now, let's talk about the 5 brands that are actually giving golfers their money's worth. Value brand number 1, Tour Edge. Tour Edge does not run Super Bowl ads. It does not pay a stable of tour players $50 million a year to carry its driver. What it does is build clubs that perform. MyGolfSpy named the Tour Edge E7 Twin 5 its best value driver of 2025, specifically calling out its accuracy, tight dispersion, and strong performance on off-center strikes. Off-center performance is the metric that matters most for the average golfer, because the average golfer does not hit the center of the face most of the time. A driver that loses 5 yards on a mishit instead of 15 is worth far more to a 90 shooter than a driver that gains 2 yards on a perfect strike. Tour Edge also backs every club with a lifetime warranty for the original purchaser. Not 1 year, not 2 years, lifetime. That warranty alone shifts the value equation. If a driver head cracks 3 years after purchase, Tour Edge replaces it. Most major brands offer 1 to 2 years and then point you toward the newest model. Value brand number 2, Subshop Sub 70 operates as a direct-to-consumer brand out of Sycamore, Illinois. Their model is straightforward. No retail partners, no massive tour contracts, no $50 million advertising budget. They design the clubs, manufacture them, and ship them directly to the buyer. The Sub 70 699 irons are listed as low as $80 per club. The 699 Pro V3, a more players-oriented model, goes for $135 per club. Compare that to the Golf Digest 2025 Hot List, which shows modern premium irons commonly sitting between $170 and $236 per iron. The Sub 70 offering undercuts most mainstream options by 40 to 60% while using modern multi-material construction. For a golfer who wants new current generation irons without financing a set, Sub 70 is one of the most straightforward value propositions in the market. Value brand number 3.
Versi 3. Bagi siapapun yang tidak tahu apa kepanjangan dari DTC, langsung ke konsumen. Bagi siapapun yang membenci besi jenis ini, jangan coba-coba. Jelek. Versi 2 sangat membantu. Terasa enak, tampaknya konsisten. Kelihatannya oke. Dan versi 3 terlihat oke. Lebih baik, kelihatannya lebih baik daripada versi 2, tetapi masih...
Haywood. Haywood is a Canadian direct-to-consumer brand that has been gaining serious attention in independent reviews. Their MB iron, a traditional muscle-back blade, requires approximately 2.5 to 3 hours of CNC milling per head. The sole measures 0.6 of an inch. The precision in each head is the kind of detail you typically find only in clubs costing 2 to 3 times as much. A set of Haywood MB irons, 4 iron through pitching wedge, which is 7 clubs, is priced at around $799. For a fully milled, traditionally shaped blade iron built to very tight tolerances, that is a price that has made Golf Monthly declare that major golf brands should fear the Haywood MB in a headline they published in March 2026. The gap between direct-to-consumer iron quality and big brand iron quality, according to a September 2025 Golf Monthly article, comparing the two categories, is virtually closed. That is not a small claim. That is a major golf publication saying the difference between an $800 DTC set and a $2,000 mainstream set has effectively disappeared in measurable performance. Value brand number 4, Maltby. This one is for the golfer who does not mind getting a little more hands-on. Maltby is sold through GolfWorks, which is both a component supplier and a club building resource. Maltby offers what they call iron packs and driver packs, which are essentially club kits with modern heads, shafts, and grips at prices that undercut virtually everything on the market. Maltby forged iron packs are listed in the roughly $646 to $746 range. Driver packs run around $280. These are not old technology wrapped in a discount label. These are modern forgings and castings with current generation features sold without the overhead of retail distribution, tour endorsement deals, or national advertising campaigns. For a golfer who has a local club builder or who is willing to assemble clubs themselves, Maltby represents some of the deepest value in golf equipment. Value brand number 5, Vice Golf. Vice built its reputation on golf balls, selling premium urethane covered balls direct to the consumer at prices well below Titleist Pro V1 and Callaway Chrome Soft. They have now applied the same model to irons. The Vice VGI-03 forged irons launched in early 2026 at around $999 for a 4-iron through pitching wedge set. That is a 7-club set of forged players' irons, the kind of club that typically costs $180 to $300 per iron from a mainstream brand. At Vice's price, you are getting the blade feel, the forged carbon steel construction, and the clean aesthetic that serious golfers want, without the serious golfer price tag. And I want to be clear about one thing. The brands I listed as overpriced are not making bad clubs. A Homa Barris driver is a beautiful piece of engineering. A PXG iron set is well designed. Titleist has been trusted by the best players on earth for decades. Mura Forging is among the finest in the world. The issue is not quality. The issue is the gap between what you pay and what you get back in actual on-course performance, especially if you are not a scratch golfer. A study of the numbers tells the full story. You can build a complete set of modern, well-designed, properly fitted golf clubs from value-oriented brands for roughly $800 to $1,200. A comparable setup from the premium brands, including driver, irons, wedges, putter, and fitting fees, can easily run $3,500 to $5,000. The premium setup will look better in your bag. It will feel marginally different at impact. and over 18 holes for a golfer shooting 85 or higher, the scoring difference will be nearly undetectable. The smartest money in golf is not spent on the club. It is spent on the fitting. Get your swing measured. Get your lie angles checked. Get your shaft flex and weight matched to your actual swing speed, not the swing speed you wish you had. Then buy the clubs that match those specs from whichever brand gives you the most for your budget. The marketing machine in golf wants you to believe that last year's driver is obsolete, that the new face technology adds 15 yards, that the AI-designed iron changes everything. The regulated limits on club design set by the USGA have not changed in meaningful ways in years. The performance ceiling is the same for an $80 iron and a $358 iron. What changes is the logo on the sole and the number on the receipt. Keep your money where it actually makes a difference. Get fitted. Buy smart, shoot lower.